A gentle sigh, a faint rustle of silk, a faraway, melancholic piano melody begins to play. Oh, darling, let me tell you a tale, a cautionary saga, really. You see, I have standards, inherited, of course. My grandmother, a woman who once dined with Pushkin, instilled in me a reverence for detail, for seamlessness, for the utter, breathtaking beauty of things done correctly. And frankly, the world is so very rarely correct, isn't it? It's positively exhausting. I recently found myself, against my better judgment, lured into the orbit of a place called the Moxy Boston Downtown. Honestly, the name itself feels incorrect. Moxy. It sounds like something one finds clinging to a damp sweater. It promised vibrancy, style, a youthful spirit, as if those are substitutes for basic competence. It's the 21st century. We shouldn't be celebrating mediocrity dressed up in quirky décor. Do you agree? It's honestly appalling. You have to understand, I approached this with optimism. I wanted to be charmed. I envisioned a little haven, a meticulously curated escape from the incessant noise of existence. Instead, I stumbled into a vortex of incompetence, a masterclass in how to dismantle a traveler's peace of mind, brick by agonizing brick. It began, as so many tragedies do, with a simple reservation. September the 24th, I believe, a date ID marked with a delicate rose petal pressed into my leather-bound planner. I arrived feeling rather splendid in a vintage Dior ensemble. Darling, one must maintain appearances, even in the face of potential disaster, and I left my identification at home. A momentary lapse, a fleeting absent-mindedness born of being accustomed to having everything precisely as it should be. Now, a civilized establishment would have offered a solution, perhaps a secondary form of verification. A gentle inquiry, instead, a rigid adherence to protocol. Policy, they declared with the chilling detachment of automatons. Fine, I thought, a refund then, a swift, respectful processing of the cancellation. Oh, how naive I was. They promised, you see, promised a full refund within 7 days. 7, a timeframe almost quaint in its assurance, but 7 days bled into 14, then 21, then a month, and the money vanished. A phantom sum swirling in the ether of their chaotic accounting system. I called, of course. Oh, I called. Each attempt was a descent into a Kafkaesque nightmare, a chorus of bewildered voices, each more clueless than the last. We can find your reservation, they say, their tone dripping with an infuriating blend of apathy and incompetence. Are you sure you had a reservation? Honestly, the audacity. It took 2 hours on one call, 2 entire hours of my precious life, to disentangle a series of erroneous charges from their system. Charges for drinks at the bar that I'd already paid for with my own card. Imagine the indignity, the sheer, unadulterated waste of time. They simply couldn't grasp the concept of a transaction having already occurred. It was like explaining astrophysics to a goldfish. And then, the truly breathtaking part. Upon checking out, they assured me everything was rectified. The charges will fall off, they chirped with the hollow cheerfulness of someone reciting a pre-programmed. 5 days passed. Nothing. Another call, more hold music. More bewildered voices. We don't see any charges on our end, they say, before launching into fantastical theories about what the charges might be for. Perhaps I'd ordered a small elephant, a private jet. Honestly, their imaginations were more inventive than their accounting skills. And then, the piece de resistance, someone will call you back tomorrow. A promise, naturally, that was never kept. It's the same as when someone says, I love you, but doesn't mean it. A slight tremor in the voice. It's the lack of accountability that truly gets to me, you see. It's the insidious erosion of trust, a feeling you had when your mother wowed.
Tuck you into bed. You believed you would be safe. You believed that everything would work out. You wanted it to be that way. But darling, it didn't end there. Oh no.
The businesses surrounding the Moxy Boston Downtown, they exist. And that's putting it kindly. After meticulously reviewing countless accounts from fellow travelers, a rather disheartening pattern emerges. It's not merely that these establishments are subpar, it's a systemic issue of indifference, poor management, and a pervasive sense that your hard-earned money isn't valued. It feels like walking into a carefully constructed illusion, designed to separate you from your wallet and leave you questioning your life choices. It's a landscape where disappointment isn't an exception but the rule. Let's start with the Prudential Center. It looms large, a concrete testament to something. It appears the consensus is that parking there is a financial and logistical nightmare. People report spending exorbitant amounts of money, nearly $50 for a mere 2 hours, only to discover that validation is a myth, a cruel joke played on unsuspecting tourists. The parking garage, it seems, operates under a separate set of laws, fueled by greed and a blatant disregard for customer satisfaction. And even if you manage to navigate the labyrinthine levels and secure a space a challenge in itself, especially with the ongoing construction, you're met with spaces so cramped, even a Land Rover Defender struggles to fit. It's a stressful prelude to what awaits inside. Inside the centre, the shopping experience is no better. Reports describe an overwhelming, claustrophobic crush of people. You're less browsing stores, more swimming upstream against a tide of humanity, catching glimpses of other people's backs and the tops of heads. Rest areas are scarce, leaving you feeling like you're trapped in a very upscale, very crowded supermarket. And don't even think about needing the restroom, prepare for a queue that rivals those for concert tickets. Then, there's the unsettling matter of rodents. Yes, mice. Apparently they're brazen enough to roam freely, leaving some to wonder what unspeakable things are happening in the restaurants. It's a level of disregard that chills me to the core. A place designed for leisure and commerce, harboring unwelcome guests. It's unacceptable. Moving on, we encounter Moxy Boston Downtown, a fitness studio that seems to specialize in emptying your bank account while simultaneously ignoring your needs. The classes themselves are reportedly decent, a flicker of hope in this bleak landscape. But the price tag is astronomical, and if you dare to experience an injury, a perfectly reasonable occurrence when pushing your body, forget about flexibility. Customers have reported reaching out, providing medical documentation, and being met with silence. Complete radio silence. They seem content to simply take your money and watch you suffer. The fuel bar is equally frustrating. Want a smoothie after a grueling workout? Too bad. You might have to wait half an hour. And don't even think about challenging the front desk staff. Rudeness and an unwillingness to accommodate seem to be standard practice. One person described a manager yelling at them for arriving 3 minutes late. 3 minutes. It feels like a subtle form of punishment for daring to exist. The volume of the music seems to be so loud, some customers are afraid of permanent hearing loss. It felt like a betrayal to me. It's a gym, a place you go to better your life. Then there's Yvonne's, a supposedly glamorous speakeasy that seems to operate on a foundation of arrogance and inconsistency. The decor is undeniably stunning, but that's where the positive experience often ends. The service is frequently described as appalling. Servers seem actively annoyed by your presence, slamming birthday cakes onto tables without even bothering to clear the space first. There are accusations of profiling, with staff making disparaging remarks about customers' appearance. And let's not forget the cockroaches. Yes, cockroaches.
Crawling on patrons' arms, prompting a casual admission from management that extermination is a constant battle. It sends a shiver down my spine just imagining it. And the food, apparently, it's fine. But fine isn't enough when you're paying a premium for a potentially unsanitary experience. This isn't a speakeasy, it's a potential health hazard. And don't even get me started on concepts. A store that seems to actively cultivate an air of exclusivity and disdain. The most common complaint: discriminatory practices. People have reported being deliberately ignored, prevented from entering, or subjected to unwarranted scrutiny based on their appearance. One individual recounts being told to wait by the stanchions, while others were allowed in, despite arriving earlier. It feels targeted. They seem to operate under the misguided notion that creating an intimidating atmosphere equates to luxury. Return policies are rigid and unforgiving. Customer service is.
So I'm looking into crimes near Moxy Boston Downtown, and you know it's just so sad. I mean, you're on vacation, you're supposed to be having fun, and then scammers, they just ruin everything. Okay, so near Moxy Boston Downtown, there are these Whole Foods and Walgreens stores, and like scammers are posing as charity collectors outside these places. They're telling people that they need to donate money for, like, a family tragedy or something, and people are falling for it. I mean, who wouldn't want to help, right? But here's the thing, they're not just asking for a small donation. No, they're taking people's phones and credit cards and then charging thousands of dollars. Like one poor woman got charged $4,000 at Walgreens. Can you believe it? And they're not even subtle about it. They just take your phone and respond to the credit card authorization message. It's like, how could you do that to someone? I'm guessing the victims were probably in shock, you know. They didn't know what was happening, and then they get this huge charge on their card. I bet they felt so helpless and embarrassed. And the scammers, they just get away with it. I mean, the police are trying to catch them, but it's hard.